be starting this one. Let's see if he can hopefully start from pit lane. Meanwhile, the lights are on and they're out. We're underway in Barcelona, and Aldeguer this time around gets a perfect start. The launch down looks as though the whole shot has gone the way of Fermin Aldeguer.
Absolutely early breakaway, and that's exactly what Alonso Lopez wants to do now. Up into second past Tulovic.
He knows that's what's happened with Dimaseki Pratama. They're frantically working on that bike. Something with
what was going on, but there was also a mechanic working on something down on the right-hand side of the bike at the front. So he needs to get to work, as Dimaseki does actually get to work now. Out onto the tarmac he goes. So
at the front, Lopez is pushing hard here.
Yep.
He's not allowed Aldeguer to escape. No way through. Aldeguer will know that he's got company and he's got a race on here.
He's going to have to get him somewhere.
He was making a few mistakes in race number one, was Lopez. Again, hard on the car, the loose as well. The pair of them quickly into the podium hunt, trying to tag along.
First race result where it was certainly the best we've seen from him in quite some time.
Yeah, on this opening couple of laps, you know, the proof will be in the pudding in a few laps. And obviously we saw this in Estoril. You know, Lopez was able to stick with Aldeguer and was straightforward as we expected for Aldeguer.
No, definitely not. He's had a little bit of work to do, obviously, and it's...
Yeah, it's a really, really important race, this, for Alonso Lopez. He needs to get... So, you know, you never know. It could be that Alonso Lopez suddenly just clicks.
In an entirely different way. So, to be fair, even though Alonso Lopez is being overshadowed...
...years of age, but... Lopez will do himself plenty of favours if he can stay.
Surely that he was all the way down into turn one and first. Who is that's gone off? That's a Moto 2 runner.
We were looking at him yesterday down at the bottom end of pit lane, properly looking after with doubt. We're on to lap number 5 now with 4 completed. Tulovic does himself have a little bit of a comfort buffer there, a couple of bike lengths that...
Bike a little bit annoyed. He's obviously seen the two Boscosieros scamper up the road ahead of him.
The 2 class today. And by being able to take the whole shot,
went a little bit deep into. Oh, Bishakursky's crashed out. That's a shame for him.
An early end to his day. It looks like we're at breaking point now between Alonso 6 of the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. It's a second, the difference between low handle for Alonso Lopez.
Yeah, fastest lap of the race for Aldeguer, 45.1. Oh, actually tipped in.
As well, you know, just because the elastic is really stretching out to breaking point at this. Best of wishes to Jari Montoya, our European Moto 2 champion from last year, who started this.
And Cardelus have swapped positions on this lap, so Norridin back up into 4th.
After, well, you know, I don't think it went to plan for him at last weekend, but it is so tight in Moto E. Of course, those guys, as we said earlier,
over the past couple of years, because of course he's been in this paddock for 2 or 3 years now, and also in Moto E.
Grand Prix experience, as we see Jorel Boerboom eventually throw in the towel.
Really said about enough for young British runners that then do come to the European stage. The track getting used to the level of competition here, but also the circuit. We know that Sam has been doing it for a few seasons now here, and when he first transitioned across, he said, "Yeah, he couldn't believe."
He's here. I don't think Knockhill has ever seen 13 in its life. I don't think he's ever seen.
It may well have been the front brake lever position. They have the little adjuster on the left handlebar, so it well. He went well in the first race as well. Picked up a top 10 finish in the end.
Error that he made in the opening race of the day, taking out Kemin Ku. Of course, we should say, whilst we're talking on that matter, to Tiger Harder as well. Big amount of action this time around, and there's a problem for Mattia Rato.
Oh,
He's straight-lined it.
Sorry, curses are absolutely supreme today, Jack. We had about 4 or 5, so hopefully on the number 11. Everyone loves a black bike, and that thing looks quite nice as well, I think. So, yeah.
As we said earlier, is a very good rider. Anybody that takes podium finishes in the Red Bull, talented rider, because we all know just how competitive that class is. So, Fermin Aldeguer now 3.7 seconds clear of teammate Alonso Lopez.
And he did a 45.6, and the next quickest after that was a 46.3. His teammate Alonso Lopez crosses the line now to go 45.8, so just a 2 tenths slower. He seems to have backed it down.
Missed the likes of Catalunya, of Jerez, and then Assen, of course, where we'll see the next round.
Moto E, he's just kind of figured it out, really. The start of the year, he obviously showed 1 round in Le Mans for them. In Catalunya, I do apologise. He went quite well indeed.
Any chances of a podium are over through no fault of your own. A best finish of 6 so far.
What he's done here in Moto 2 and also last year in Stock 600. These two boys are still Still trying to find the perfect setup he wants with the bite point on that, but it looks as
that Calyx machine exactly where he wanted it to go, with the bike looking and trying.
if Norridin, he probably just rolled the throttle a couple of percent just to make sure he didn't get.
Moto 2 class, 4.5 seconds clear of teammate Alonso Lopez. It's enough this time around to steal 4th place away. He's closing up the inside, but again, no way for him.
He looks pretty erratic somewhat. There you go, see him again picking out to the side of the fairing on the left.
Keeping it nice and comfortable through there. As we said, he further back for 8th, 9th and 10th. Alex Escrig leading the way in the super stock.
That pun when it's Moto E, so.
Yeah. Exceptional Escrig.
There you
go. 7th, so this is a good run from him, especially after a European Moto 2 career. Of course, he moved across to the AGR team that, don't forget, won in a row in this championship. Pons, in the end, you know, he won a whole host championship. Here's Montoya did it all, well, Montoya did it throughout the year, really. And good men in that box, having won championships, plenty of races. That can only aid his development. Still only 23 from Kent is Sam Wilford.
Zetty had a quick look up the inside there, but Wilford is doing a good job. He's just making marginal gains in sort of range, and really he's just developing into a pretty solid runner in the championship.
He is incredible consistency from Sam Wilford. Coming finishes in a row. That arcs all the way back to the start of 2020. It's not a surprise every weekend. All they have to do is put a little polish on the screen at the front, and there it is, good to go for Portimao.
Completely in control. You see him sliding around turn 3 there, nothing too major, just on Cardelus, but Cardelus still not having any of it, so these two still line astern. I feel like
credit is due. Every time that Norridin has just shown his front wheel, he's not his nose in front of Norridin all race long. But now, certainly, Cardelus looks to be the one that's a little bit more out of shape than the other. Both of them in this baking Barcelona heat will be suffering at this point in the race.
Although it doesn't look like he's going to be close enough here. Cardelus is very good on the brakes as well. You see the front end down 4th if he can.
Here we go then, 1 lap to go for Fermin Aldeguer for the opening couple of laps, but his rhythm, his form, his pace is just too much for any sensational 16-year-old. One of the biggest talent
job he's doing. This is why the Boscoscuro talent team picked him up. You know, they saw that, but this class is obviously Alex Escrig getting the business done this year. So, well, the notification of the rest of the racing world that you are one to watch.
He's jumping onto the 765 Triumph for the first time, and like a duck to water. When it comes to Moto 2 next week in Sachsenring, but in the European Moto 2 champion, it is 5-star Fermin Aldeguer, 5 out of 5 to start 20. It's Alonso Lopez. Another 2nd place means he's only 25 points. Norridin gets his nose in front on the final lap. Oh, of the opening race. But all focus, Jack, is on Aldeguer, as it is this man
as well. In the end, just over a second behind Sam Wilford in 9th, who actually got pipped.